Yo, let me show you the new addition to my shop right here. What's happening, everybody? Your boy Big Brando, and today we're gonna be talking all about the new Heat Press Nation TrueSpec cap press, and I got one right here in my shop for you. Let's get into it. Now, let's do a little comparison right now with the Heat Press Nation Signature Series cap press. That's the one you guys been seeing me use for the last, I don't know how many years, and then comparing it to the new TrueSpec cap press. I'll show you the things that I liked and I disliked about this Signature Series, and then I'll show you everything that I think about this one. We'll even press down some hats also. All right, Heat Press Nation Signature Series cap press. This is the one with the removable platens. The reason why this is important to have the removable platens is because all hats are not created the same. You got hats that look like this, you got hats that look like this. Let me show you what it looks like when you try to hoop something on the wrong bottom platen. So a lot of you guys always complain about like press marks, creases, wrinkles whenever you're pressing hats. That's because there's a lot of play in the hat. If you see me pushing down right here, it's because there's a gap in between the hat and the bottom platen. You don't want this. This is tension levers pushed all the way down and there's still a gap inside of there. You don't want that. So what you would have to do is swap this one out for something like this. And then you load the hat on. Sweatband is out. Tension levers down, no gap. So now this will give you a nice, smooth, even pressing surface. There's no gap in between. So when you bring this down, you're not gonna get any press marks, any creases, any wrinkles, because it's a smooth, even pressing surface. So that's what an AS Color foam frame trucker hat. Now let's say you wanted to press on this one right here. This is a corduroy golfer hat from AS Color. You load this thing on, pull out the sweatband, see it's all floppy. All you gotta do, pull this down, smooth pressing surface. No gaps, no nothing. Take this one off. Now let's say you wanted to do one of these popular frame caps, right? Or let's do it even better. We'll do the two-tone looking one. Two-tone frame cap. This is from AS Color. There's a tag. Pull out the sweatband. And we'll load this one on. Pull down, there's a gap. See that? Where I'm pushing down? You don't want that, because when you bring this down, it's gonna smash where that gap is, and then you're gonna get all of this creasing on the hat. So you gotta swap out the bottom platen for a different size one till you get the right fit that you're looking for. All hats are not created the same. Boom. Now, no gaps. You can press on this all day long, no issues, no creases, no wrinkles. You can press patches, DTF transfers, whatever you wanted to, but it requires you to swap out these bottom platens for the different size hats. So you got the big one, you got a medium one, you got a small one, and then you have the extra large one. I haven't had a use for this one except for bucket hats. That's the only time I use this really big one. But mainly I'll use this one for different 6-panel hats. I'll use this one right here. It's good for like foam truckers. And then the smaller one for the A-frame hats is what I've noticed. All right, so right now the heat press isn't turned on, but I wanted to show you what it's like to actually go through the motions to press something. Here we go, AS Color frame cap. This is a 5-panel, so there's no seam down the middle. This is just one flat panel. I have my smallest bottom platen on here. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the sweatband. And then I'm gonna load the hat onto the bottom platen here. I want the sweatband and the edge to be right at the edge of the bottom platen. Make sure that the hat is around the tension bar, and then pull down on the lever. Now we got a nice smooth pressing surface. So this is a Supacolor headwear transfer. You would center it up and it'll be just like that, and you can press it down. What a lot of people do is they'll take some heat resistant tape and they'll tape down their transfer just to make sure it's on there and it's not moving around, and they have the perfect alignment with the transfer onto the hat, then they would push this down, press it on. Now, after it's been pressed, this releases up, then you pull up the tape, pull up the transfer backing. But one of my issues was always, you have to be kind of careful right here because you are still working directly under the heat. So you could burn your knuckles, burn your hands, burn your fingers, so you do have to be very careful. So after you release it, boom, and then you can let the hat go and you take it out and you'll have a finished product. Just wanted to show you guys what the process looked like using the Heat Press Nation Signature Series cap press. All right, so here are the two heat presses side by side. This is the Heat Press Nation Signature Series cap press. This one right here is the Heat Press Nation TrueSpec cap press. Just visually looking at both of them, there are a lot of differences. One being the color. This one's white, this one's black. This heating element right here looks a lot wider. This one right here looks a lot narrower and a little bit more like curved. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. So this one looks pretty wide. This one looks a lot narrower. The handles, this handle doesn't go up as high as this one over here. Now let's measure table placement. So if these are both at the edge of the table, we'll measure base to base, 9.5 inches. This one is base to base, 9.5 inches. So they take up the same amount of real estate on your table. This table right here is 6 foot by 2 foot. So if we're going front to back, this looks like it might be about 20 inches. And then if we're going front to back on this one, looks about 20 inches also. So the base looks a little bit shorter on the Signature Series, and the base looks a little bit longer on the TrueSpec. But there's a little overhang on the back of this press, and then this one, the base goes right up to the edge. So they're basically the same size when it's on a table. Noticeable difference, this right here, slide out drawer, obviously. The other difference that I'm noticing is the tension lever. So this tension lever right now is in the up position, so we could load a hat on here. And then when I want to increase the tension, I push it down. Now it's horizontal. So vertical means it's open, down means it's closed. And on this one, horizontal means it's open, vertical means it's closed. So that's one of the other differences I'm noticing. They both have foam grips. The screen on this one looks a little bit bigger than this one. This one's a touch screen. This one has physical buttons. They both have cancellation buttons on the side. Power button on the Signature Series is on the back. Power button on the TrueSpec is on the side. Other visible difference is this one heats up the bottom platen and the top platen. This one does not, because this one has the removable platens. And I guess the last thing is this heating element right here seems like there's only a limited space to work with, where this one seems a little bit higher. So we'll use the ruler. From bottom platen to the top of the platen, this is 6 inches. And then from bottom of the platen to top of this one is 7.5 inches. So you get an 1.5 inch difference, but you also get to pull this out so you're not working directly under the heat, whereas this one, you're working directly under the heat. So if the bill is here, you have to place your transfer in between there. Here, you pull this out, bill is here, you can start placing your transfers here, not working directly under the heat. Push it in and start pressing. They're both auto open, and they're both solid quality presses. I've made a ton of money using this one right here, and I plan on making a ton of money using this one right here. All right, regular foam front trucker. We're gonna be using Supacolor headwear transfers. Heat press is set up to 305 degrees, 10 seconds. This is an AS color foam front trucker cap. We're gonna pull the sweatband out, slide out drawer. I'm not working under the heat. Lay this thing in place, pull down on the tension lever. Feels good. We're gonna take our transfer. This is how I find the center of the transfer. I fold it over on itself and I match up the design, not the paper, the design. So I'm gonna match it up there, crease the top, crease the bottom. Now we have the true center right in between that A right there. We're gonna lay that down. I'm gonna line up that center line with the point in the hat, because this is a 5-panel hat, A-frame, so there is a little point where the center of the hat is. Lay that right there. Now, you see this thing is kind of like teeter-tottering back and forth. If I just pushed it in, the transfer moves. In order to not use any tape or anything, I'm gonna use Heat Press Nation's silicone pad. This silicone pad right here has these little hooks where you hook into the bottom of the press. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna lay it down on top, just like so. I'm gonna press it in. 305 degrees, 10 seconds. The bottom platens at 230. This is a hot peel transfer, so we're gonna remove this and peel this up hot. Boom. Release the hat. There you have it. Perfectly pressed, no press marks, no wrinkling, no creasing. Once again, this is a foam hat. Usually when people press foam hats, they see all kind of press marks, press boxes. Things aren't working the way they should be, but with this press right here, no issues whatsoever. Now, just for fun, let's try it out on this unstructured corduroy hat right here. Very curious to see if this will, I don't even know what this is made out of. This is 100% cotton. So we're gonna pull the sweatband out. This is an unstructured hat, obviously. See how floppy it is? This is made by AS Color. Pull that down. Tension levers on. This little rope right here, we don't want the rope to burn. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna line it up just like that. Let's try it without the blue silicone pad and just see if we could press this thing on and hopefully get a good press out of it. I've never done this before in this style of a hat. Bring this down. What I did notice is the pressure's a little off because the foam front hat and this hat's unstructured, so it didn't get like a real heavy press on it. Let's see if it worked. Oh shit, it did. Oh shit. I didn't even realize this. So I pressed it, I pulled the sweatband out, but I didn't realize there's like this other little net thing on the inside, and it pressed over it, and then it left like the indentation of this thing. See that? So it goes around like this, all the way around. I guess in certain light, you can't see from right here where I'm looking at, I can't see it, but maybe in the camera it's picking it up. But I pressed over this thing. So I guess next time if I press one of these, you gotta like pull this whole thing out. See that? I didn't do that. Well, good thing this was a test, but getting close up on the transfer, it's on there. You could see the corduroy through the transfer too. Trippy. Never tried that before. There you go. Now, one thing I did want to note about this heat press right here, it's turned off right now and cooling down, is this press, you could press the side of the hat, the back of the hat, this side of the hat, and the front of the hat. Whereas the Signature Series, you can't do that. So if you had this one loaded up, just like this, pull down on the tension lever, you could press the front right here, release it, pull out the sweatband, and now you could press the side of the hat. Say if you wanted to put down like a side patch or some branding, and then let's say you wanted to do this side over here, and you wanted to like throw your logo on this side, all you would have to do is pull the lever down. Now you could press something right here, put your name, put somebody else's name, customize hats that way. And then you can even do the back of the hat, which is pretty dope. And to me, it seems like it works best if this is right at the edge and you pull the tension lever down And then now if you wanted to put like some text going over the little hole in the snapback right here, maybe customize it with a baseball player's last name or something like that, you could slam that on if you just wanted to do some stuff with like HTV and put it on the back of a hat. Easy call. If you wanted to put a big patch back there, if you wanted to put some DTF transfers or something, but being able to decorate all sides of this hat, pretty dope. Boom, there you have it. So after we pressed these hats down, we tested some things out. We went through the motions of pressing down some hats. We did our regular headwear transfers from Supacolor on these foam front truckers, and there's no issues whatsoever. No press marks, no creases, no nothing. And we also tested this one out right here just to see what it's like pressing on one of these unstructured hats. But we both learned there's this extra little mesh lining thing, so you got to fold that out when you press it on. I don't have any more of these hats to test out. I got to order some more from AS Color, but for the test it worked out. Especially this is a corduroy hat, and we were able to press down these transfers on them no problem. So my overall thought on this new TrueSpec cap press is it's something that I've been looking forward to solely for this right here. You guys already know I like slide out drawers. I have them on all my presses. It's something that I like because I hate working directly under the heat. So having it on my cap press now is gonna make the world of a difference for myself, especially when I'm doing neck labels. That's what I mainly use these cap presses for, is laying down the t-shirt. Working directly under the heat, it can be done, but efficiency's sake, pulling out and pressing it in is a big deal for me because I could lay the transfer down, top down, I could see that it's straight, push it in, press, pull it out, rip it up. When you're releasing transfers under the heat, there's always that little fear of, I don't want to burn my hands, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. So being able to do it outside of the heat, 100% the best feature in my book. Now, the other thing that I'm curious about using this thing for is patches. So if I wanted to do like a side hit patch, I know you guys see a lot of hats with those big patches on the side. So if I ordered patches and now I could press them on with this heat press, because I could press all edges of this hat with this heat press, I'm very curious on what I could create of a patch to put on the side of hats now, where I don't have to embroider it on my embroidery machine and I could just lay it on with a patch, because the bottom platen heats up and the top platen heats up. So that way the glue on the bottom of the patch is getting released perfectly from the bottom instead of just from the top coming down. This is gonna ensure maximum adhesion, and that's why I'm curious to see what kind of patches I could create to put them on the side of hats now. Now, if you have any questions about this cap press right here, my old Signature Series cap press, please let me know in the comments. If you wanted to see more information about this cap press, I'll leave the link for you guys in the description box. If you wanted to pick one up for yourself, it'll be in the description for you also. And if you wanted to, you can always follow me at Big Brando TV on Instagram. That's where you'll see me pressing shirts. You'll probably see a lot of videos of me using this thing right here. So if you felt like it, follow me there. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.